Welcome to the 12th Annual Anti-Corruption Awards. I'm Cathy Stewart, the citywide coordinator for the Independence Party. It is great to see all of you here this afternoon. For a dozen years, we've hosted the annual Anti-Corruption Awards and honored a diverse list of recipients, including Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the Reverend Al Sharpton, California Lieutenant Governor Abel Maldonado, who was the author of Proposition 14, and the team of litigants and attorneys who saved the open primary system in the state of South Carolina. As we always say, the real corruption in American politics is not when politicians break the law. That's easy to deal with. You put them on trial, and if they're guilty, you put them in jail. The more insidious form of corruption is when the law, the culture, and the common practices deny ordinary people the right to participate fully in the democratic process. This is something that independents face all the time. And so when we come together at our Anti-Corruption Awards, we're honoring leaders who are stepping forward to break down political barriers, to open up the political process, and expose how partisanship is the most dangerous corruption of all. Now, we have some extraordinary honorees today, and I can't wait for you to meet them. But before we get to the awards, I want to give you a chance to hear about some great developments in the growth of our movement. So, here to kick us off are Shanna Brown and Tom Williams. Shanna is a recent grad from Hofstra University and an actress and producer currently working as part of IndependentVoting.org's national fundraising team. Tom is a member of the citywide executive committee and on the production team of one of our flagship projects, Interviews by a Black Independent. Please welcome Tom and Shanna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shanna Brown, and for the past 6 months now, I've been a member of IndependentVoting.org's cold call fundraising team. I had no experience in fundraising or in politics, but after graduation, I didn't want to work in a restaurant. All I knew was that I was an independent, and the idea of using my performance skills to make a difference really intrigued me. I'm now part of a team of 14 people who are raising money to support our work to enact and protect open primaries. For those of you who have done cold calling, you know it's a hard job, but it's incredibly rewarding. This year, we've organized 1,654 new donors to give to our cause. So we call political donors in all 50 states. Now, these are tough customers. They donate to Democratic and Republican candidates and causes, and they get a lot of phone calls. But we know how to talk to them about independent politics. Many of them are deeply dismayed by the partisanship in Washington, and they are ready to support the independents who are doing something about it. So from day one, John Updike, our Director of Development, drilled 3 things into my head. Be proud, don't undersell, and listen. My second week on the job, I got a $1,000 donation from he was a retired investment banker in Locust Valley, New York. He said he was a lifelong Democrat, but that he no longer trusted either party. He asked me, he said, "Do you really think that open primaries will really make a difference given all the messed up things that are going on in Washington right now?" And I said, well, no one reform is a silver bullet, but more and more Americans are becoming independent, and they need a voice. He gave us $1,000 and told us to keep in touch, which we have. So next week, I start training to be a trainer. We've built a great team, and I'm excited to share with others what I've learned on the job. There are so many people out there who really want to be a part of changing politics for the better, and our goal is to reach every one of them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I can't hear you. Okay, good afternoon. Much better. Good afternoon, everyone. The Independence Party has created a new happening in Harlem. For those who are geographically challenged, that's uptown, okay? AB. It's called Interviews by a Black Independent. Every 6 to 8 weeks at the Harlem State Office Building, Dr. Lenora Fulani interviews leading cultural, business, educational, and political figures. These are great conversations, the kind that you would have if you were sitting down talking with friends and family in your living room, where we get to know Dr. Fulani's guests and their history. Interviews has become very popular, and people from all 5 boroughs, because they love dialogues that go beyond the sound bites. Dr. Fulani has guests like Congressman Charles Rangel, former New York City Comptroller Bill Tompkins, State Senator Bill Perkins, the renowned African-American playwright and director Woody King, who I might add also directed Dr. Fulani in Dr. Newman's play, Dr. Hearst Died Yesterday. Actor Roscoe Orman, who created the beloved character Gordon on Sesame Street. Educators like David Banks from the Eagle Academy and Ava Moskowitz from the Success Charter Network. Civil rights leaders such as the late Derek Bell and Hazel Dukes from the NAACP. I hope all of you will come to our next interviews and check it out. And guess what? We have gone high tech, y'all. And you can now listen to Interviews by a Black Independent as a podcast on iTunes or on our website, www.ipnyc.org. I know that you will really enjoy giving them a listen. And as an added bonus, the introduction is done by yours truly. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks, Shanna. So glad to have us take a look at these exciting initiatives. The most important antidote to political corruption lies in organizing ordinary Americans and independents to participate in building a movement for political reform. Meaningful change in our political process can only come from the bottom up, and the New York City Independence Party is focused on involving New Yorkers from every community in our city in developing and training new leaders and activists, and in creating the programs and tools to continue our movement. I want to take a moment to say a special hello to some friends who are here with us today. I'd like to acknowledge Michael Hardy, counsel to Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network. Thanks, Mike. Gabrielle Kurlander, the president of the All Stars Project. A shout out to my fellow county chairs, Bob Conroy from Brooklyn and Sarah Lyons from Staten Island.